Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andre and this is my 2020 Pro XP4. Last time I left you off, we had to bleed the brakes. That's been taken care of. I started off with my AGM power bleeder and finished up with the wife coming out and helping me manually pump the brakes. That's what she said. Anyway, that's been done. So now we're going to start the install on the Fox QSE system. And apparently there's a few of you that have reached out to me asking me if I got some, instructions, wiring diagrams or whatever from Fox or from Shock Therapy, and I did not. But I did reach out to Shock Therapy, and they were super helpful. They basically told me what wires I was going to need, what wires I wasn't going to need, because this is kind of a universal system that's set up for a variety of different cars. It's not set up just for a Polaris RZR Pro XP. It can be used on several different car types, models, the whole nine yards. So I thought it would be helpful since a couple people reached out to me, which is kind of cool for a YouTuber. I've never had anyone really reach out and say, hey, I could really use some help on this. And I had a few of you that did, actually two in particular that were asking about it. And then a couple of guys made comments about it on that first video I did. So that was pretty cool as well. Always nice to see somebody's actually paying attention to what you're doing. Not that I'm an actual YouTuber. I'm definitely just, just a guy making some videos. But anyway, I thought now would be a good time to go through and explain how this wiring harness goes. So the first thing you've got to decide, you've got a basically a computer module that you've got to mount somewhere in the car. And at first, I know Shock Therapy on their older system, they had you mount it in the center console here. I don't know if anybody's taken out the center console of a Pro XP before. I have several times. I don't wish that on anybody. It sucks. I mean, it sucks a lot. So then I got thinking, well, there's a bunch of computers right here. Maybe I should mount mine here. But there's not a whole lot of room on this side. But if you go around to the other side, the passenger side of the car, oh my gosh, look at all this room for activities. And yeah, I know the first thing somebody's going to say is, well, this is the fuel side. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Well, I also have fuel tanks hanging over my passenger's head. So that's how much I worry about fuel leaks. By the way, those are roll packs. They have been up there for years. I swap them out every year as far as the fuel, so that fresh fuel is in there. And they've never leaked once. You don't fill them all the way. Make sure you have good quality lids, and they don't leak. But anyway, I'm going to mount my module right here in the car. But you can mount it wherever the heck you want. I mean, it could go under the dash, it could go somewhere else. I'm not telling you where you need to mount it, I'm just telling you where I'm going to mount mine. And the thing that you're going to want to do when you do mount this, you're going to want to mount it like this, upside down, so that you don't have dirt and grime going into your plug port. So you want this to be mounted like this. So that's what I'm going to do. And they give you two different harnesses. I'm going to kind of set you up on a tripod here, or the little tripod that I have for my media mount. All right, Shock Therapy is going to give you a couple of harnesses as well. You've got one that's, kind of long, and then you got one that's really long. I mean, this is the whole harness here. So we'll kind of explain to you what each harness is and which one is where everything goes. All right, so you got this. This is obviously the connection going into the computer. I believe it's something like this. And then you got a little clip here. Actually, no. Yeah, it looks like it's something like this. And then this is the lock to lock it in. All right. This is the part we need you to really pay attention to, what guys are asking for. This connection, CAN 1, not needed on a Polaris Pro XP. CAN 2, not needed on a Pro XP. ECU HSG, not needed on a Pro XP. So then a little bit further down the harness, you've got two more connections. They look like this guy. Get a little slack here. You've got GPIO with this type of connector here, not needed on a Pro XP. Then you have this CAN bus connector, looks like this. This is needed on a Pro XP. So we're going to end up using this. Now we'll go to the other side of the harness. Same harness, other side. Okay, this is the other end of the same exact harness. This is your power connector that connects into your bus bar underneath the dash of your Pro XP. I'm going to go out on a limb and give everybody the benefit of the doubt that if you're installing this system on your Polaris, you know what this plug is already instantly. And I'm also going to go out and say, hey, if you're attempting to install this and you don't know what this plug is, you're in for a long day. Brother, I know I have confidence in you. You're going to figure it out, but you're in for a long day. But anyway, this gets plugged into the bus bar under the dash. Comes with fuses. It's ready to go. Just plug it in. In my case, I need one of these adapters. So you plug one in and now you got three. Because I got so much crap plugged into my car, it's not even funny. Okay, same harness. You even have more leads. These are all of your shock leads. All right, so this is the other end of the harness. These are the parts that connect to the individual shock. The electronic valve, that shock therapy mounted on your shock itself. So you got a front or FLC, FRC, basically left side or driver side of the car, front, right side of the car or passenger side of the car in the front. That's what these two are. The right side of the car is the passenger side of the car. All right, let me get to the other two here. You've got a rear right and a rear left. Again, these are the connectors. These plug right into the rear shocks then. So far this is like stupidly simple. You've got a harness that's connecting to this computer that's got a CAN bus, which, I mean, that's your brain wires. And then you have leads going to each individual shock. And then you've got a power lead. It doesn't get any simpler than that, except you need one other thing, and that's how do you control this thing? How do I connect this guy right here to this computer? Well, it's got this connector on it. So now you're going, well, geez, all right, that's simple enough. That's where the other harness comes in. So the other harness has this CAN bus. That mates up to the CAN bus on the other wiring harness that I showed you earlier. Same connector. Boom, it's female. Plug it in, go to town. Then, on the other end of this, you have a plug called IMU. Yeah, looks like this. This is not needed for a Pro XP. So we just have to cap that and terminate it. Then we're left with the only other wires you have on this is CAN 2, which looks like this. Yep, not needed. Don't need it. CAN RDR, not needed, but I know what this is. I talked to them about this specifically. This CAN RDR, I'm going to make sure mine's in good shape because I'm going to be using this in the future. This is for remote sway bar disconnects, which are available on some machines, just not mine yet. But I'll be able to control that as well in the future, which I am super excited about. Then go further down the line. You've got CAN 1. Looks like this. It's already capped off. Don't need it for a Pro XP. Then you have this TP. Well, what the heck does that mean? Oh, I think it stands for touch point, but I don't know. But this is the touch display. And looky here. She plugs right in together. So that's it. So essentially, you're going to need that TP, and you're going to need the CAN bus. And that's it on this harness. So you got all these wires, and everybody, you know, at first I was like, geez, no instructions or anything like that, which I get it. You spend all that money, you think you'd have better instructions, but all I can say is I'd rather have the hardware out and available and call shock therapy and figure out how to install it than wait another 6 months until riding season's over before I can get this on my machine. I want to remind you guys what this is going to be able to do or enable us to do. The live valve guys, yeah, they've had it from the start and it's awesome and that's great. I can't install that on my machine. That's not something I can retrofit on there. This allows me to do that, but it allows me to take it a step further. Now it's not just soft, medium, firm. It's how soft do I want it? Well, what's firm to me? I can adjust all that from an app on my phone. Plus, I can adjust the front different from the rear. Total independence on how you want your system set up. Plus, you've got, once you set it up firm and hard, you have a custom setting for front and rear that you can set it up exactly the way you want. I don't know how much that's going to get used by us. We're not racers, but we definitely are going to be able to utilize the firm and soft for when we're rock bouncing or when we're running on the trails. I mean, I don't know too many people who ride their machine and it's not a pavement princess that do not do a combination of different riding. And I would say the vast majority of people don't tune their suspension for the type of riding that they do. I know none of the people that I ride with do. I don't do it myself usually. Heck, I had my sister and my brother-in-law in the car last year and I didn't even adjust my springs because I was too lazy. The cold ones tasted better at night, And it's like, it's 2 spanner wrenches. Adjust it. You're done, and the car's going to handle better. Well, now I can adjust my shocks as well, right there from my phone. So I think the ability to adjust and fine tune is going to be there and the payback's going to be there. So that's how you wire this thing up. I'm going to get busy and start running wires. Catch you guys in a minute. Okay guys, welcome back. Started doing some wiring, thought, oh crap, maybe I should stop and show you a little bit, but basically my power wire is up here to the dash. I routed that through here, around down through the side. You just take out all these fasteners here and you can get in here and you can see my wires down in there. I didn't show it, sorry, but this is how I terminate like a wire that's not needed. I take an inner tube and I make it twice as long as I need to be, so I stick the wire in there halfway, fold the inner tube over, And then I zip tie the inner tube, pack it full of dielectric grease, and then tape it. So that's what I did up there. I've got another one in here that I'm not wild about, but it is what it is. It's inside there. I got another one here that I just kind of zip tied to that frame. But now all I have left is to route the individual wires to the individual shocks, which I'm going to do that next. I did mount my computer there. And these are my rear shock leads. I mean, they give you plenty of wiring, almost too much. But I guess those Can-Am four-seaters that are like 25 feet longer than this Polaris, you might need that wiring. I don't know. Yeah, I'm making fun of them, sorry. I do like the two-seaters. I'm just not a fan of the four-seaters. I think they're too long. I already make enough. I call this thing a limo, you know, on the trails because I have to make 3-point turns. They must have a better turning radius than I do because they seem to do okay. Actually really like the Can-Ams and drove Can-Ams for a long time. So those of you with 4-seat Can-Ams out there who are a little butthurt at my comment, sorry, but it's too long. I don't like it. All right, I have run all of my wires for the shocks. It's hanging down here. I got that all buttoned up there for the computer, ran my grommet and my wire across the engine. I originally ran it down there, which may or may not have been fine. That's right where the turbo is. There's so much frickin' heat. So I rerouted it, and you can kind of see it just kind of goes right over to that shock. These were simple. I tidied this up a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just, you know, so that it can't rub on anything. And you get a pigtail there. And the pigtail there. So all the wiring is done except for, you know, I've got to mount that controller somewhere. I'll work on that. And, you know, just plug the power lead in. But I've got to do that at the same time. I've got one spot left. And I'm going to put a USB charger port right there for my wife's tablet. Those of you who don't know, my wife navigates on every trip. I just have to go left or right or straight. I don't have to think. I love it. Okay, guys, we're back. We got all of the shocks mounted, got our boots on all the way around, front's done. And we got this side done. We also paired up our touch point. But by the way, if you're ever like doing a bunch of wiring in your car or inside, take the doors off. There's like 4 bolts per door. It is the easiest thing and super easy to get in and out of your car. Mine's raised up a little bit, but not a big deal. But power's on. We've got the touch point screen. This is basically just what you're going to use in the car to adjust. So you can see going down, you can go from soft, custom, and firm in the front. And then same for the rear. They're separate. Or you can grab them in the middle and operate that. I'm not sure where I'm going to mount this. And 2, I wanted to make sure before I put all this back together that everything worked. So that's that. Here's the app on the phone. To pair it the first time, you have to turn the key. It says here in the instructions too, you have to turn the key on and off 3 times. And then this light, where it says auxiliary, it'll turn blue. And once that's in blue, it's in pairing mode. And then you just go and there's a button down here. I'm sorry, I did not record it, but when you first turn it on, it'll just say scan for, a unit. Scan it, it pairs up, simple as can be. You've got, you can adjust what percentage of soft, firm. You've got your, customs, and this is where you can adjust them. Here you can kind of tune and see what your shocks are doing while you're driving. This is like a data log for recording your rides to see if you've got it adjusted the way you want. And here's where you can see your recorded rides. But man, I gotta tell you, this was pretty simple. I got my little charge port hooked up as well, and I noticed my wiper stopped working, so it's usually the motor burning up. I'll have to check that out and get a new motor. That's so frustrating. That thing lasts like once a year, but luckily I can just replace the part. It's not a big deal. But anyway, I will get this back together and catch up with you guys in a bit. All right, guys, there it is. She's installed, ready to go. Again, you can, there isn't a whole lot. Once you get this set up, like I don't have it set up the way I want it for this car or anything yet, but once you do get it set up, it's not touch these buttons, by the way, which would be a pain when you're driving. I really like these. And again, you can kind of go like that. It works really well. I did determine my washer pump works. My wiper does not. This is the wiper motor up here. It is a OEM Polaris wiper motor, and this will be the third time I'm replacing it in 5 years. If I get a season out of it, I'm like shocked. But that'll do it for this video, guys. This probably took me most of the day. I think I got out here about 8. It's about 3 o'clock now, and I've had enough. But we got basically the QSE system. But anyway, we got the Fox electronic shock valving wired in, got the computer installed, we got all the wiring run to each shock. We reinstalled the shocks, put our shock boots on. Pretty good day. I think tomorrow I'll probably get this thing back on the ground. I did not put the wheels and tires on now, although they are ready to go on now. I just want to clean up, spend some time with the wife, and we'll hit her next time. Take care, and if anybody has any questions on how to wire it up, let me know. Send me a message, post a comment, and we'll go from there. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.